I'm doing a really weird filming setup right now. I was gonna go edit my what I read in October, and I kind of think I need to be doing intros and conclusions. Oh geez. You can see Toby's no tail. I think I need to be doing intros and conclusions to these because I realize they just kind of end. Like, if I don't finish another book at the end of the month, it just kind of is like, that's all I read. So October was a weird month for me because it took me a lot. I like started reading a bunch of random books, which is kind of normal for me. I like to kind of pick and choose what I want to read each day, but I just wasn't connecting with so many books. I tried to read quite a few. If you look at my Goodreads right now, I have something like, I don't even know, 8 or 10, 11. I'm not even sure how many books I have going, and I just need to push. So November for me is going to be a month of finishing a bunch of books. It's perfect for the end of the year, I think, to set that goal of finishing all the books that you have started. So this is what I read this month. Good morning. I finished Alice in Wonderland, the audiobook, this morning, or Adventures in Wonderland. It was narrated by Scarlett Johansson, who I actually really, really liked. I thought she did a really fabulous job doing voices and all of that stuff. But generally speaking, there are some really kind of odd parts of of the first story. I haven't ever read any of them. There's a part with like a mock turtle, and it was parts where I just felt like I didn't really care about the story, or it was like just kind of odd, and I think that's what I would say, is that I didn't really care about the story and I just kind of wanted it to be done. But I did like a lot of it, but there were just definite chunks where I was like, this is boring. It's definitely like worth a listen if you could get it on sale, but I don't think I would use the credit for it. And that is all. First book done of October. Taking a risky move and leaving the window open for this. I finished the Song of Achilles. It is October 10th and I've only finished 2 books. I'm in a reading slump. I have started a lot of books and just don't love them. So this book, I actually love the cover of it. I think it's really great. I think a lot of people know some of the story of Achilles. I'm going to be honest and say this was based on the Iliad, and I have never actually read the Iliad. I've read the Odyssey, and I know kind of some of the stories of the Iliad, but I don't know all of it. This main character is Patroclus, and it's about his relationship with Achilles. This is kind of their vantage point of the Trojan War and how they become involved in it. I don't know how, because I haven't read the Iliad, I don't know how closely it follows it, but I'm assuming it like relatively so follows it. They're younger people. It kind of spans over time. At some points I was like not really sure how old they were, but at the end it says they were 27. The things I will say that I liked about it is it really does talk about like the atrocities in the war. So you do kind of, they talk about the fact that when you're killing people, even the people that you're at war with, you are killing people. You are killing people's parents and relatives and brothers and stuff like that. People, they're still people. And is that value less because they're your enemy, or how that balances out? The part I really liked about this book is their romance. I liked their relationship. I liked that even in this kind of a relationship dealing with gods and goddesses, that they were also trying to deal with like acceptance from their parents and stuff like that, and acceptance from the outside world as a two men that are involved with each other. But the relationship, while it is the biggest part of the book, it's not always the main focus. And I just kind of wanted to get through this. I just wanted to kind of like read it and be done with it. I really liked the beginning. I really liked the end. The ending, the last chapter is really nice. But generally speaking, I just wanted to be done with this book a lot faster than I was. So I don't know if this is something that I would have liked better if I were in a different mood or what, but it's just kind of for me. But also, I would maybe tell a young adult to read this that is interested in like all of the gods and goddesses and Greek mythology. This is more of an adult version of Percy Jackson. It's not obviously quite the same story, but if someone really liked the Percy Jackson books, then maybe as a slightly older person, they would dig this. So that's it for this one. Hopefully these reviews get better because I'm definitely in a slump right now and I'm just not loving anything that I'm reading. So we'll see what's next. This is kind of a weird setup, but I don't want to like always sit in like my little not professional, but my little setup back there. I just wanted to like lay down and be comfortable on my bed. So that's what we're doing today. I finished Hillbilly Elegy today. It was one that I started a week ago and I read like 100 pages in one sitting. I didn't really love it though. That's the thing, is like this has gotten a lot of like buzz on the internet and stuff like that, but it actually, I liked the stuff a lot about his family and his relationships and like stories about that stuff, but I didn't love all of the analysis of it, but I did like some of it. So it's kind of hard to say. Sometimes I think like because I work with kids, because I deal with people kind of similar to him, I feel like sometimes I don't want to read that stuff in my like real life. So that might have clouded my opinion a little bit, but I definitely would say it's a good read, but it's definitely not one that I was like, I couldn't wait to finish. I actually just made myself this week, I've been in such a reading slump. I designated this week to finishing some of the books that I had started and not finished. So this was one. I think I'm going to give it like 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads just because I did like it, but I didn't love it. I think a lot of people will have different opinions than that though. So I'm excited. I think the next one I'm going to start is Turtles All the Way Down from John Green. I got a signed copy, which I was super excited about, which I mean like a lot of people got, but I'm excited about that one. So maybe that'll be my next review. I forgot to say this before, but one thing that I did really like was that he talked about one of the reasons he was successful in his life was because of the connections that he made with adults. Like he had a teacher that supported him and stuff like that, and that kind of, just because I work with teenagers and stuff, it kind of reaffirmed that the connection you make with people in general, not just if you work with kids, but like people in general, can actually be quite inspiring and oftentimes is more important than the actual work that you do. And that was nice, like a nice affirmation of that and a good reminder. So I wanted to mention that as well. Hi, I have been terrible keeping up with what I'm reading this month. I forgot to mention I did a standalone review for Turtles All the Way Down, and I totally forgot to then film for my what I read this month. This was the book that turned it around for me. I feel like I'm on an upward swing with my reading. I loved this book. It was so enjoyable, and I think that a wide audience will be able to enjoy this book. It's about a woman, Aza, who I'm really bad at remembering characters' names. I don't know if everybody else is, but I mean, when I'm watching TV and everything, I'm like, who's that guy? Like, so Aza is the main character, and she struggles with obsessive compulsive disorder and obsessive thoughts, and I felt like it dealt with it really, really well. And I'm going to link my standalone review because I don't want to talk about it too much and make it too redundant. I will say I was super pumped to get a signed edition, and now it's just sparked a little desire in me to start getting more signed editions. I actually bought one for my grandma I didn't really know it was like a thing on barnesandnoble.com and like probably other places, but you can, just Google signed copies of books, and a lot of new releases now must be signing books. So today I just got done filming another standalone review, which means that I loved it, on my best friend's exorcism. So I'll link that below. But I freaking loved this book. It was so good. These two like definitely brought me in an upward swing though, and I feel like I'm excited about reading. And I'm just like wanting to consume as much as possible. This one was so good. It lived up to the cover hype. I say that in my review. I just think this cover is so awesome. Like, it just feels so perfect to me. And I loved just the different details in it. Feels familiar because it has that nostalgic kind of 80s feel. It doesn't feel repetitive. It doesn't feel like, oh, I've read this story. You know, when you read some stuff where you're like, yeah, I know exactly how this is going to go. And that's not how I felt. I felt like the ending, I was really looking forward to see what they do, to seeing what they do with the ending. And it turned out really well. Like, well, for me, I guess, I really liked the ending, and I liked that they focused on a lot throughout about friendship and just what you would do for friendship. So that is my final book review. Okay, so now you can see that I didn't read a whole lot, or I didn't finish a whole lot of books, but I did read 2 super, super good ones. The John Green was excellent, and the My Best Friend's Exorcism was so, so good. I would definitely tell people to read both of those. The other ones were, like I said, just kind of fine, but nothing that I guess that that excited me about reading. So, oh, you can see my other book. I just did what I read in November. I just filmed a clip for that too, because I did finish a book already in November. But other than that, that's what I read. I'm hoping that November will be good, and I am going to just set myself the goal of not picking up too many new books. If you're a book reader, you kind of know that, like, that's kind of out of your control. Sometimes I get so into grabbing books that sometimes I just can't help it. But I'm really setting myself a goal of finishing a bunch of books. Oh, Toby, he's just joining me. It's because my weird setup today. But I feel like these videos are a little more casual, so I can be a little more casual because it's like more like a vlog. So that is it. I'm gonna finish editing the video. Thank you for watching. If you did, let me know any comments on any of the books that I have read this month that you have read. I love hearing people's opinions on books, or why they think I'm wrong or why they think I'm right. So I would love to know any of that, and anything that you read this month that you think is worth telling other people about, because I would love to know that as well. And I'll just add it to my to be read list. Okay, thank you for watching again. Goodbye.